Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing? Hopefully you've had a good breakfast. It's raining outside right now. I really like rain. Anyway, today we're going to start our deductive geometry section. So it's all about shapes. Today we're going to look at an introduction of four-sided shapes, specifically quadrilaterals. So let's have a few recap of definitions. So recap, congruent triangles, or the word congruent shapes. It means when two shapes have the same shape and the same size. So you only have rotations, translations, so that's moving up, down, left, right, and you also have reflections. So you can only move the shape up, down, left, right, turn it around, flip it, but you cannot shrink it or make it bigger. So no dilations. In other words, enlarge or shrink. So that's what it means when shapes are congruent to each other. In particular, we have two triangles here. Triangle ABC is congruent to DEF. The symbol for congruent is 3 lines across. There are 4 ways to test for congruent triangles. Number 1 is side, side, side. So if you can show that all 3 sides are the same, then they're congruent triangles. Or if you can show that the 2 sides and 1 angle is the same, or 2 angles and 1 side, or you show that there is a right angle for both triangles, H for hypotenuse, so that the hypotenuse of both triangles are the same, and then S stands for one side is the same for both triangles. So there's 4 ways to test for congruent triangles. Next we're going to look at some recap of angle relationships. So angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees because supplementary angles. So 180 degrees, you might know this as the word supplementary. Vertically opposite angles are equal, and the symbol for that is literally draw in vertically opposite angles and label it. Angles at a point add up to 360 degrees. Or a revolution. Sums of angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. The symbol for that is just literally draw a triangle and label the 3 sides. The exterior angle, so the outside angle of a triangle, is the sum of the 2 interior opposite angles, meaning that if you have a triangle and you extend out, then the outside angle is the same as the sum of the 2 inside opposite angles. In an isosceles triangle, you have 2 sides are the same, and then you have 2 angles which are the same. Sum of angles in a 4-sided shape, a quadrilateral, is always 360 degrees. The symbol is just to draw in a quadrilateral and label the 4 angles. We have specifically 4 parallel lines corresponding angles. So if you have 2 parallel lines, we indicate parallel using arrows, and then we have a line passing through it. Then corresponding angles, this is what I call the F rule, they are equal angles. So the 2 angles indicated there are the same in measurement. Co-interior angles, so say you had 2 parallel lines. I'm going to draw in parallel using an arrow. So the inside angles add up to 180 degrees. And lastly, alternate angles. So you have 2 parallel lines and 1 line passing through it. So arrow, arrow to show parallel. Alternate angles are equal. So corresponding is what I call the F angle, because if you look at the sides which the angles touch, they form an F shape. co-interior is what I call the U angle, because if you again highlight the sides which the angles touch, they form a U shape. And alternate angles is what I call the Z angles. So highlight the sides of which the angles touch, you see the Z letter. So the FUZ angles, which only works if the lines are parallel.